President Hassan Rouhani said yesterday that Iran will begin injecting gas into centrifuges at its Fordow uranium enrichment facility. Uranium is a key ingredient in building nuclear weapons. And this comes as the Trump administration continues its maximum pressure campaign involving economic sanctions on Tehran. Behnam Ben Taleblu is a senior fellow at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies, and he joins me now from Washington. So, Behnam, how significant would you say this escalation for Iran to start producing enriched uranium?
Well, good to be with you again, Rena. This is most unfortunately Iran's fourth incremental violation of the JCPOA. That's the 2015 nuclear deal between Iran and the five world powers. Every escalation has gotten significantly more important, but in the end, it's still pretty graduated. So I would liken Iran introducing UF6, that's uranium hexafluoride, this gas, into centrifuges at an underground bunker called Fordow near the holy city of Rome. I would liken this to putting a bullet into a gun but not firing it.
Putting a bullet into a gun but not firing it. You know, President Rouhani referenced that Western countries are sensitive about activity at this facility at Fordow. What is Iran hoping to accomplish politically with this announcement?
Well, especially the Rouhani statement about his signaling his cognizance of Western sensitivities of Fordow is important, because a few days ago in the Iranian press, Iranians were extolling the virtues of this facility. The fact that this facility remained open despite in 2012 the P5+1 wanted to actually shut it is a symbol of how fatally flawed the JCPOA nuclear deal was, as well as a symbol of Iran's nuclear negotiating successes. So the Iranians tout the fact that this facility remains open as a symbol of their prowess, and they're doing something a few years too early. They weren't supposed to enrich uranium in that facility until the year 2030. Now they're beginning the process to set themselves up to enrich, and this is in response, of course, to the American pressure policy.
You know, Reuters reports that Iran briefly held an inspector from the UN's nuclear watchdog, seized her travel documents. What's the message that the country's trying to send, especially alongside its latest nuclear activity?
You know, most unfortunately, this stuff is tried and true policy for the Islamic Republic. It's long done it with dual nationals. Now it looks like it wants to harass the members of the International Atomic Energy Agency, because there's about 100 to 150 who inspect Iran's program at any given time. This means that the regime is looking to put the squeeze on those men and women who are actually now investigating Iran's known nuclear facilities. And this is a clear signal to Washington, as well as others looking to get more insight into the program, that the regime is intent on limiting the scope of whatever insight already exists.
And how are other world powers responding? Is there anybody backing Iran at this point?
Well, unfortunately, the P5+1, but particularly the E3, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom, they remain a party to the deal, but they are increasingly citing Iran's nuclear escalation, which is still graduated, as a concern. You had French President Macron today talk about this, as well as the British just the other day. So the Iranians may actually be driving some of Europe towards America the more they escalate.
So what's the calculus that the Iranians are willing to wage with the Trump administration? Is the sense that they've got to dig in their heels because they feel like another 4 years could be coming next November?
Well, the key word is there, the Trump administration. I think the Iranians are more cognizant of American domestic politics than ever before. They understand this max pressure policy, this coercive and punitive economic policy of sanctions for the Trump administration, which has been remarkably effective in the past year. That policy just turned 1 year old on Tuesday, is tied to the administration. So the Iranians may be hoping for a change in 2020 and are trying to wait out the administration. In so doing, they're being intransigent and shunning negotiations with America.
Behnam Ben Taleblu, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.